Hi, I'm Peter Birch. Welcome to the How-To series brought to you by Ultimate Reptile Supplies. Today we're setting up a bearded dragon enclosure, just like this one right here. Welcome to CrittaCam. So for this particular setup, I've chosen the large URS terrarium. And one of the great things I love about the lids themselves, which we've already had fitted for ourselves here, is the lighting system. They actually have these push-out sections here where you can push them out and put in your lights just like we've got right here. We've actually decided to use the URS ES fittings. So basically it's the ceramic fitting. Ceramic is much better than the plastic because exposure to a lot of heat over a lot of time, the plastic will start to get very brittle and sometimes will even break when you're putting it inside your globes, which is very difficult and very dangerous. They're already hooked up with a plug on the end, which makes them compliant to the Australian standards, which means you're going to be nice and safe. So what we've decided to use is for heating is this URS infrared globes. So basically you've got a heat section. So at one end of the cage you've got heat, which naturally allows the reptile to thermoregulate, which means the animal needs to move towards the heat to increase its metabolism, to digest its food, or in sometimes it will move away from the heat when it needs to cool down. It's allowing the animal to move in and out of those heat zones, which is very important for a reptile. And on this side, we've actually installed a compact fluorescent globe. This is actually a UV section here, which is 5%. Okay, so now we've put the lid on. We've installed a thermometer. One probe at the cool end, one probe at the hot end, which is down this side where the heat source is. And we've also installed a microclimate down here where the probe is down at the hot end of the cage, which is keeping the hot end in check. So what you need to do is you actually plug in the heat source into the actual microclimate. That'll keep that heat source within the temperature desired that we need. And for the next thing, we're going to chuck in some sand into this beautiful enclosure. So the sand we're using is the Desert Red URS sand in these big chunky bags, 20 kilos. Bit of a workout, but it's a great product, nice, coarse, and that lovely, brilliant colour. I'm just going to get that on in there now. So for this setup for a bearded dragon, we've chosen the ultimate large hide rock here, not only for a hide but also for a perch to allow the animal to get up off the ground. Bearded dragons are a perching animal, so they like to climb a fair bit, and we've also chosen this nice branch for that specific reason too, to let the bearded dragon get up off the ground. They can get up, they can see the insects running around, they can jump down and chase their food. We've also chosen the Billabong water bowl, a nice big water bowl, but that can also act as a food bowl too. So if you're offering salads to a bearded dragon, you can remove the water, put your salads in there, offer the salads to the bearded dragon. Once he's finished eating for the day, you can take the salads out, put water back in there, or you can use 2 bowls. So we're going to chuck these in now. Always making sure that the water bowls are squished down deep and touching the bottom of the enclosure. And the same with the hide. The last thing you want is any of your little animals getting trapped underneath any furnishing in your cage and coming to a horrible death. Now all we need is a little bit of water, turn all this system on, make sure it's all working properly, put in a bearded dragon. So we just double check the temperatures with a thermometer, making sure that the hot spot is at the direct or the desired temperature for a bearded dragon. A little security key here prevents the fact from anyone else tampering with your thermostat, making sure the temperature is right in the right zone. We're ready for a bearded dragon. Look at this big fella. In you go, mate. There's your new home. And of course, a nice sliding door that locks, preventing old mate here from getting out. Looks like one happy lizard.